I'm standing on Dja Dja Wurrung country, and I acknowledge the Djara people as the traditional owners and custodians of this land. We're surrounded by bush here. It's beautiful, but for many people, it's dark, it's untidy, it's uncomfortable, it's a waste of space. But the bushland is absolutely teeming with life. It is a wonderful example of biodiversity. There's so much bush disappearing because of agriculture and increasing urbanisation, and it puts our wildlife at threat. We need to protect the bushland. What we can do is create gardens for wildlife. So let's go and have a look at parts of this garden. When we start thinking of a garden to support wildlife, rather than just the way it looks, we start thinking in terms of what will this plant do for wildlife? Will it provide shelter? Will it provide protection? And does it provide food? Here's a poa. Poas create seeds that feeds little birds and other creatures. Small creatures, invertebrates, nest and rest there. So shelter, protection, food. So think of layering a garden. Start with the ground, then lower layers, mid layers, right up to the trees that are surround us. Ground cover is really important. Lots of little creatures live in the soil or just above the ground, and they create food for birds and other creatures. If we put gravel, it's ideal. Under the gravel or on top of the gravel, all sorts of little creatures live, and they provide food for birds. Also, we can use plants. So we have here Chrysophyllum apiculatum. In a month that will be covered with the most beautiful little flowers that will support a range of birds and insects. Here we have another ground cover, and that also has a tiny little egg and bacon flower. It's beautiful. And up here is a beautiful Pultonea pedunculata, excellent for ground cover. Another really important element of a wildlife garden is water. Now, you may not have a dam or a lake, a waterfall, but you can create things in your own garden. This little water course is coming out of a drain. So we've just created a natural fall, and the water gathers in that little bowl there, and that will provide a home and food for frogs and other little creatures. This is an ideal bird bath. It's the perfect height to keep the birds safe from predators, and it's not too shallow and it's not too deep. There's a tree directly above the bird bath which creates protection for the birds. They can fly straight into the tree. There's another really important aspect of this, and that is to leave alone. Now, this goes against our nature. The way we've been brought up is to tidy up, to prune, but that doesn't create a home for the wildlife. Let's have a look here. This Hardenbergia has been planted from a seed picked up by a bird, and it's growing in this bush. The tidy gardener would cut this out because it's out of place, but leave things alone. Keep control of that tidy gene.